Hi Mauricio, this is Kent. I wanted to make this video because you had a couple of questions about creating some analytics quotes in CPQ. It can get a little confusing, so I wanted to make this video to run this through with you. So let's go ahead and take a look to see what we have so far. Let's see, we have an account called for UBEC. Let me just go ahead and make a notepad of that. And let's go ahead and see what you've quoted so far for them. So far, looks like they need basic analytics for Learn, licensing. Of course, they will need pyramid licensing. I'll explain what that is later. They need implementation services. And it looks like they need managed hosting. So they need the whole set. Okay. So let me go ahead and go into here. I'll create a new quote. I'll go ahead and call this something simple. We'd like to say, a client name. We'll give it a date. So it'll be 26 August 2014. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put the product name first. A for L, 26 August 2014. Okay. We have an empty analytics quote created. Let's start adding content to it by clicking on this content tab. And we will go ahead and say standard product platforms. All right, so this is where we need to start adding things. We get a couple of introductory questions first. Does the account name match the billing name? Yes, it does. Click OK. Which products are we trying to license? We want to do analytics. Click OK. It's very important to click OK through every single one of these steps, even if nothing changes. So in this case, we have 1 year. This is already filled out properly, but we still need to click OK through all of this. Okay. No, we don't want to do split invoicing. Everything else seems fine. Annual license type, tier 3 for higher education. Okay. So when we click through OK on everything, it'll automatically move over to the next section. So next question, FTE size. How large are these guys? I actually didn't find out from you, so let me go back and find out how large UBEC is. You probably know more than I do, but let me just take a look. Let me see what other opportunities we have, and let me see what we're quoting them as. So these look like 15 to 25,000 FTE. What I did was I looked up a Blackboard Learn and Blackboard Mobile opportunity to see what FTE we're quoting. Looks like we're quoting 15 to 25,000 FTE. So I'm going to go back up here to my analytics quote and say we're going to do 15,000 to 25,000 FTE. When we click on OK, the product types we want, we always have to do software, pyramid, and service. Must do all three. No matter what you do, when you sell a new account, you have to have all three. We're also doing managed hosting, so let me go ahead and click OK to that. When we click on OK, it'll ask us what analytics products or modules do we want to sell. Well, we're selling analytics for Learn. And then it'll ask us pyramid modules. Well, we're selling analytics for Learn, pyramid analytics as well. Just to explain what pyramid analytics is, it is a third-party reporting tool that we have that we contract out and resell. Rather than develop and write our own reports, we basically just resell somebody else's reporting tool that already has our core standard reports built into it. So when we sell analytics, when we sell Blackboard Analytics, we also have to resell this reporting tool as part of that deal. Now, there are some special discounting rules for this piece. We can only discount this piece up to 20%. I'll mention this again later. But for now, just know that we have to have pyramid module selection, analytics for Learn. And then it'll ask a question, do you want to present the customer with a bundled pyramid product? You want to say no. Just to explain what this is, sometimes clients will buy many Blackboard Analytics products all at once, in which case we want to sell them pyramid licenses for multiple analytics products all at the same time. But since we will not do that ever in international, you always want to say no to this. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. This is where we start getting into the consulting time. Now, the consulting time is going to list the basic implementation time for the standard modules. Analytics for Learn is going to default to 20 days as part of the standard. We need to make sure that an Analytics for Learn international deployment has 30 days attached to it. So what we do is we leave this number of 20 alone. We click on OK. And then under under additional implementation support, we want to add enough time to make it a total of 30 days. So we're going to click on OK to that. All right. So now we have our licenses in place, we have our services in place. Now we need to get managed hosting in place. Managed hosting is where it gets complicated. For managed hosting, I have a document here that I will share with you. It is called Analytics Hosting Sales Scenarios. What this does is it gives you a list of all of the different ways that the client could be hosting Blackboard Analytics and Blackboard Learn, and what products you need to add to make all of that happen. Now, most of the time, you are going to be looking at option number 2 here. This is going to be cases where the client has Blackboard Learn somewhere, either in their own data center or in a managed hosting data center for Blackboard Learn, and who want Blackboard to host their analytics server for them. So this is what you want here. Now, this will have a section to say CPQ selections need to match these 4 items. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into CPQ, and we are going to make all of our items match those 4. Okay, so we are going to take a look here, and we are going to say we need analytics hosting A4L VPN. We see that right here. Click on OK. The other 3 components we need, A4L reporting server setup. We need A4L reporting server. And we need A4L building block setup. And we'll click on OK. Okay. So now that we've done all of that, we can add this to quote, and this should go ahead and create a quote for us. So now we have the proper quotes, we have the proper and correct products quoted for us inside of CPQ. Now it becomes time for us to start discounting this. So what we can do here is we need to start taking a look at some of these numbers and discounting them. Okay, so the analytics implementation for Learn, it looks like it's in local prices in Brazilian reais. Everything here looks fine. I will not discount anything here until you and your sales team have had a chance to review this and decide what discounting levels you want to support and to talk to me about it. What is going to be important are some of these managed hosting numbers down here. Now, these managed hosting numbers just come out of a price book, and this price book that we have in CPQ is not correct. It needs to be updated. So what we do is we have another document called the A4L Analytics Pricing Table, and the pricing table will tell us how much we should be charging for each one of these different modules here. Okay, so here we see that for 15 to 50,000 FTE, Analytics for Learn has a one-time setup fee of $5,000 US, and it's an annual recurring fee of $59,000 US. So these are list prices. I'm going to leave these alone at list prices, again, until you can talk to your sales team, who can talk to me about the level of discounting we need. But for now, let's just put list prices in here so that we have the CPQ quote correct. So, excuse me. So, in order to get these numbers correct, we need to get a one-time setup fee of $5,000 and an annual fee of $59,000. Let's go back to our CPQ quote. Okay. So our CPQ quote has 4 items in it. The item here that we see, analytics hosting A for L VPN, looks like it has the discounting already applied for it for Brazil, so that's good. What we're going to do is we're going to discount the hosting A for L VPN component to 100% because we're not charging for that. We only have this in here for internal product tracking purposes so that our managed hosting team knows what to deliver, but we're not billing the client for that. So we list it at 100% discount. The building block setup, also 100% discount. We don't need to set anything up there. The only two pieces that we need are the reporting server setup, which should be $5,000 list price. It looks like that's for 8,600 Brazilian reais. It's already been discounted to local price. That's fine. We'll do that as a one-time fee. And the reporting server itself also looks like 60,000 Brazilian reais, also discounted to local rate. So all of that seems good. Everything here looks okay to me. All of these licensing components, this licensing component, the analytics for Learn annual license, 93,000 Brazilian reais. That's list price. We'll leave that alone for now until we can discount. You may also notice here, this is interesting, Pyramid Analytics for Learn has been discounted to 100%. That is okay in this case because Pyramid Analytics will come as part of their managed hosting deployment. So we list it here to know that we need to give them Pyramid Analytics, but we count it as part of the managed hosting fee. So that's why it's been automatically discounted to 100%. Normally, we can only discount it by 20%, but because they're buying managed hosting, 100%. Everything looks good here. Let me go ahead and synchronize this to Salesforce. We'll click on that button. We will let that update, and when we go back to the opportunity, we should now see the correct products with the correct discount and pricing levels entered into here. So now we're okay. We're okay to go. When we get to this point and you need to talk to your sales team and start talking about discounting, we can go back into this quote and get the discounting levels in place and figure out ways to make the numbers work for the client. But hopefully this should give you a pretty good idea of how to get a CPQ quote into Salesforce for an analytics product.